Most people think the top 1% manage money by having more money, bigger salaries, bigger investments, better opportunities. But that's not the real difference. The real difference is how they think about money when they don't need to spend it immediately. Managing money like the 1% isn't about being rich. It's about behaving as if money has a job beyond today. The average person manages money reactively. Money comes in, life happens, money goes out. Bills, spending, surprises, emotions. Whatever is left is an accident. The 1% manage money intentionally. Every euro has a purpose before it arrives. Here's the first mindset shift. The 1% see money as a tool for control, not comfort. Most people use money to feel better now, convenience, relief, rewards. The 1% use money to reduce future pressure. They ask, will this decision make my life easier or harder later? Comfort fades fast, control compounds. That's why many high earners feel broke while some average earners feel calm. Calm comes from margin, not income. The second shift is separation. The 1% never keep all money in one place, mentally or structurally. They separate money by function, living, protecting, growing. When money is mixed, it's spent emotionally. When it's separated, it's managed logically. They don't ask, can I afford this? They ask, which bucket does this come from? This separation creates discipline without willpower. You don't need to debate every purchase. The system already decided. The third shift is paying themselves first. The average person pays everyone else first, landlord, bills, lifestyle, and hopes something remains. The 1% reverse the order. Saving and investing happen automatically. Spending adapts to what's left. This isn't discipline, it's automation. Another major difference is how the 1% think about expenses. They divide costs into two categories, fixed pressure and flexible freedom. Fixed costs, rent, car payments, subscriptions, lock future income. Flexible costs can be adjusted. The 1% are extremely careful about increasing fixed costs because fixed costs reduce options. Most financial stress comes from obligations, not lack of income. So when they upgrade, they delay. They test. They ask, will I still want this if income drops? If the answer is no, they wait. Then there's risk management. The 1% are not reckless gamblers. They're risk-aware planners. They avoid moves that can permanently damage them. They don't chase returns if it means losing stability. They protect downside first. This is why emergency funds, insurance, and diversification matter so much. Stability allows patience. Patience allows compounding. And finally, the 1% understand that time is the real currency. Money exists to buy time, reduce stress, and increase choice. Any decision that trades long-term time for short-term pleasure is treated carefully. So managing money like the 1% isn't about complex strategies. It's about simple principles applied consistently. Separation, automation, margin, and patience. Now let's turn this mindset into a practical system you can apply even if your income isn't anywhere near the top 1%.
Managing money like the 1% becomes powerful when mindset turns into structure, and the structure is simpler than people expect. The first rule is build margin before chasing growth. Margin means savings, low pressure, and flexibility. Without margin, every decision is rushed. With margin, you can wait, and waiting is a financial advantage. So the first move is always the same. Build an emergency buffer, even if it's small. This buffer doesn't make you rich, it makes you unbreakable. And unbreakable people make better decisions. The second rule is automate progress. The 1% don't rely on motivation to save or invest. Money moves automatically. On payday, saving and investing happen before spending. This removes emotion from the equation. Automation turns good intentions into default behavior. The third rule is invest boring, not exciting. The 1% don't treat investing like entertainment. They avoid constant buying and selling. They focus on long-term, diversified strategies that compound quietly. Boring investing wins because it survives emotions. Excitement feels productive. Consistency actually is. The fourth rule is grow income strategically, not desperately. Instead of working endlessly, the 1% focus on leverage, skills that multiply value, ownership that pays repeatedly, systems that scale. They don't just ask, how do I earn more? They ask, how do I make my effort worth more? This is why skill building is so powerful. One high-value skill can change income without changing hours. The fifth rule is spend intentionally, not emotionally. Before spending, the 1% ask questions. Does this reduce future pressure or increase it? Does this buy time or steal it? Is this aligned with my values or my ego? They still enjoy life, but enjoyment is planned, not impulsive. Planned enjoyment doesn't create regret. Impulse spending often does. The sixth rule is play long games. The 1% are comfortable with slow progress. They know compounding takes time. They don't quit strategies early because results feel boring at first. They trust systems more than feelings. This long-term thinking also applies to relationships, reputation, and skills. Everything compounds when given time. Finally, the most important rule. Money should reduce stress, not create it. If a financial decision increases anxiety, pressure, or fragility, it's a bad decision, no matter how impressive it looks from the outside. Managing money like the 1% doesn't mean copying their lifestyle. It means copying their priorities. Control over comfort, systems over impulses, patience over urgency. And the moment you start managing money this way, something changes. You stop feeling behind. You stop reacting. You stop panicking. You start steering. You don't need a top 1% income to think like the top 1%. You just need a system that respects your future as much as your present. That's how real financial power is built, quietly, patiently, and on purpose.